It's so good to see you, Melissa Etheridge.
Such a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm thinking, what a moment for you. And listen, they couldn't have picked a better person because this is your stomping ground. You know this area very well. You grew up very close to here.
Yes, yes.
So how are you feeling? What are you thinking?
I am so thrilled how Kansas City has embraced women's sports and has jumped right in with investment and with enthusiasm, and then the fans start coming, and it's so, I'm just thrilled.
But everybody knows about how you love the Kansas City Chiefs, too.
Well, yeah, then
you and Melissa and Nate were talking football. They were laying it all down. Yeah,
that would do.
You love the Kansas City Chiefs, too, of course.
And they're great. You know, this is known as a great sports city.
How about
that?
It's so exciting because I lived those years when it was not.
And let's talk about that seismic shift in women's sports. And, you know, I want to give credit where credit's due. When it comes to women's sports, they have led the way when it comes to diversity and inclusion. Not every men's sports league has been at the forefront of that. So before we talk about the seismic shift, I just want to applaud women's sports for leading the way in so many different areas.
Amen.
But what else can we do, though? Because I feel like we're on the cusp of this really taking off nationwide and worldwide.
Yeah, if you look behind the scenes of what's happening, it's women's investment. And when you look at the spirit and you see Michelle Kang and how she invested in it, you see the results here. The fan engagement has gone up 48%. You know, each year this is happening. And so when you get that sort of enthusiasm, when you get the funds going into it, you get the city support. That's what can happen. It's people understand it's a place where young girls can go and be fans and be just delighted.
All that is super important from a business perspective, but none of it matters if it's not super exciting on the field. There's so much talent.
No doubt.
Oh, my God.
I was at a playoff game at FC Gotham in the quarterfinals, or Gotham FC. So out of my mind excited. I mean, the music, the fans, the chants, the whole band's in the stands. It's so much fun.
It's incredible. When you see the way these women play, I mean, they are fierce. They are fierce. And Marta, the GOAT, the one who we'll see.
Physical and graceful.
Physical and graceful. She did that kick, and then all the free kicks she did to win the. Oh, it's so exciting, so very exciting.
Can we talk about you getting ready for the national anthem? Because everybody says the national anthem is one of the hardest songs to sing.
You've
done it before, but how are you preparing this time?
Well,
it's cold out here, Melissa.
It's one of those things that if you mess it up, it will ruin your career, right? The career's over. So I sing it in the shower a lot. It's about starting low enough. I sing it a cappella. I don't do anything but just, so it's about starting on the right note. When it's cold, that's a little bit more of a challenge when you take a deep breath and it's like, ouch, you know. But I've done that before. Usually I get the call out to come do a playoff or something, and it's always freezing cold. So I'm all right. I'm there.
How do you make it your own while also keeping it traditional?
Well, that's just it. That's how I maybe throw a little bluesy note in the end just to, make it fun. But it's about just delivering. It's a gorgeous song. I mean, it's a huge range.
It is. It is.
But it's
it
really
makes me so proud every time I see it. I want to talk about your music, too, Melissa, because, listen, I love Melissa Etheridge's catalog. My favorite is I'm the Only One, but you have so many. But you just recently did a mashup with Chappell Roan's song, which I thought was so clever to do. I mean, you always seem to be keeping your finger on the pulse of the music. You've worked with Taylor Swift. Tell me what your thinking is when it comes to music. Taylor has talked about you and the guitar. Tell me your thinking about this.
It's the same thing as in sports. I was actually just talking to Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird, and we were talking about what's available and how they used to play in little holes in the wall and stuff. And I said, well, that's the same in the music business. And when I look at Chappell Roan and the hundreds of thousands of people, and, we go, well, we paved the way. We did that. That's what we're supposed to do. So there's a lot of women supporting women in music, in sports, and it makes a difference. And when people believe that it's exciting, if you come to one of my concerts, you can see that, then the success happens.
A lot of women supporting women, but when it comes to hoisting that championship trophy tomorrow, only one team of women.
Ask her the question, Tony. Tony.
Okay,
Ask
so
her the
do
question.
you have a pick? Who's going to win it tomorrow?
Well, I'm a big Casey Current fan. And
Right, of course,
it's
of
not
course.
possible.
Yes.
I got to say the Spirit. I really do. I got it with everything that's been going on. I mean, Marta's the GOAT. We would all love to see that. I would be okay if that happened.
Yeah.
But I know some friends that are investors in the Spirit, and I think seeing the results on the field, you know, investing in players, investing in buildings. I hope the Spirit.
And do you feel as good as you look, Melissa? Because you have been through it when it comes to health and all sorts of stuff. You feel good?
You know
Look
what?
good?
Life is up and down.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is a gift.
Yeah.
And every day,
Agree.
I believe that. And it is my job to just get as much joy out of every day as I can, and certainly not let the waves carry me away.
Every
Here's
day
to
is a
more
gift,
joy.
But you know
Here's
what,
to more
Melissa,
joy for
you're
you.
a gift as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we
appreciate it
so much.
And
Love
folks,
you guys
love
being
you
here.
too. I love you.
Thank you. This
Thank you
means
for
a
coming.
lot.
Thank you for coming.
It does.
Thank
And
you.
folks, you can watch Melissa perform the national anthem ahead of the championship match tomorrow night. Pre-game coverage begins 7:30 p.m. Eastern, kickoff 8 p.m. right here on CBS and also on Paramount Plus.